pretty damn close, Liv.
I kind of eyed on the screen.
Yeah, you did good. That looks great.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, the last season of Jack Ryan comes out June 30th. We still haven't watched the other season.
I know.
We need to watch it. Maybe we'll finish it after West Wing and then go back to the Blacklist.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, everybody, we're getting back on here. Part 2. We had to do a quick reboot, see if this helps. We're back on Twitter. Good to have you. Sorry, folks. It seems like either it's me or the entire internet or something. We're taking a look here. See if we can get everybody back on. Can't find me on Twitter. Okay, it's real simple. Twitter.com, amperstamp, The Dumb Show. No spaces. D-U-M, not D-U-M-B. D-U-M. So I just needed to restart the computer. All right, well, let's hope we can finish the show with a really good show.
Robbie's having problems. She can't find you on her phone anywhere on Facebook. So I don't know.
Robbie, did you block me on Facebook? All right, Robbie. I'm going to go to the...
I have... I can't log in as you, so I can't send her an invite.
I'm going to take care of it.
But she is... I told her to download it or go to a desktop or a tablet.
I'm going to see if I've somehow blocked her, which is insane. Because I never would.
She's downloading the app to her tablet at the moment.
All right. Well, listen, we're
talking her through it.
We're getting on. Well, I'm going to find her right now. Robbie, what?
Medlin. Medlin.
What's her picture of?
It's her.
Robbie, I think you're already on my page, sister, because it's showing up that you're in the Don't Unfriend Me. You've liked something of mine. I'm looking. You know what? Let me find my follows. Robbie, I think you're already a fan. This is weird. Yeah, we're getting everybody back on. Let's give everyone a second, because get everybody on. Okay, there we are. I can see us. I can't believe you can't find me, Robbie. That's insane. I've never had anyone tell me they can't find me. All right, well, we're getting everybody on. Let's rock and roll. Robbie, we'll figure this out together. All right, we've got a couple people on Twitter. We've got YouTube now. Rumble.
Rumble's up.
Got me on Twitter. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's wrap it up. So we've got a couple of other things to talk about. So I want to show you guys Liz Cheney. And you guys know I don't like Liz Cheney. I'm not a big fan in the slightest. But she's released a new video, and of course, you know, she's got a hard on for Donald Trump, just like all the rhinos do and all the lefties. But watch this. Make sure I got my audio turned on. All right, here we go.
Donald Trump is the only president in American history who has refused to guarantee the peaceful transfer of power. Joe Biden.
Now, if you're going to record an audio track, do you think maybe, just possibly, you might want to consider using a microphone that isn't shit? Like, let me explain why this is a big deal to me. Olivia, you know our sound system downstairs and our audio. I mean, what does that look like?
Sorry, I was chewing.
It's okay. Spit it out, woman.
It's amazing. It sounds great.
Thanks. Wow, that's huge.
It sounds like a movie theater. I'd rather sit here and watch it than go to the movie theater.
So what it comes down to, as an audio video sales guy, which I was for a long time, there's one thing that I would always tell my customer is that I would come in and be like, I want to get a brand new TV. I want the 72-inch plasma, Pioneer Elite. Which nothing that big. And if they did, it was like $175,000 for that TV. And then I'd say, okay, great. Well, let's go get your audio system. Oh, no, I don't need audio. I'm just going to use the TV speakers. And I said, every single time, with no equivocation, I'm not going to sell you this TV. And Olivia knows I would say, I'm not going to sell you the TV. Not going to happen. And the guy's like, what do you mean? I said, there's two things that are going to happen. Is that you've come in here with a certain dollar amount in your pocket, and you've already spent it, and you're going to put all that on a TV. And my recommendation to you is to go with a TV that's 50% less and get yourself a sound system and a TV and a warranty for 5 years versus going ahead and buying a TV that's new technology that has a chance of breaking in the next 1 or 2. And then you're out. You got to come back and do this all again. And you're going to come to me and be mad at me. So I'd rather have you spend 50% less on the TV, buy a home audio system and buy a warranty, and you're going to be better. I don't need audio. Really? Great. When's the last time you watched a movie with your eyes closed? Oh, I've never done that. That'd be stupid. Sweet. When's the last time you've done it with earmuffs on? 50% of the experience of watching TV is audio. So therefore, don't tell me it's not important. And every time that close, let's go get an audio system. And I had a close rate of like 90% attaching audio systems with my TVs before this reason. I don't think I sold a TV once without a warranty because either I would walk it or I would make the sale because it's dumb. If it's 10% of the cost of the TV, do it. Because to repair a TV without a warranty is just ridiculous. So anyway, now that I've pitched you on that, if you're going to do audio and you're going to run a national campaign against Donald Trump, maybe you should absolutely just not be talking out of a tin can. It's annoying. So here's Liz Cheney.
Lost the election and he knew it.
To become the president.
He betrayed millions of Americans by telling them the election was stolen.
Stop the
He
steal.
ignored the rulings of dozens of courts. Rather than accept his defeat, he mobilized a mob to come to Washington and march on the Capitol. Then he watched on television while the mob attacked law enforcement, invaded the Capitol, and hunted the vice president. He refused for 3 hours to tell the mob to leave. There has never been a greater dereliction of duty by any president. Trump was warned repeatedly that his plans for January 6th were illegal. He didn't care, and today he celebrates those who attacked our Capitol. Donald Trump has proven he is unfit for office. Donald Trump is a risk America can never take again.
The great task is responsible.
Yeah. I got a lot of feelings about that ad.
She was very monotone and had absolutely no emotion or conviction behind her voice.
See, the tweets, here's the problem that people don't understand about that. It's because it's true, but not because what she said. Is the reason he didn't tweet for 3 hours is because the riot was going on for 2 hours and when the rally was still going on. And then obviously getting into the motorcade and driving, there's an hour of indecision and conversation and planning and confusion. At the height of the escalation, when things started absolutely getting out of control, Donald Trump followed it up with peaceful protests and police stop. The responsibility for that ad is greattask.com. Is paid for by Great Task. That's who
look it
paid.
up?
Yep.
Great.
I was just going to do it. Yeah, go ahead. You send it to me. Yeah, it's nice to have an assistant. Yeah, do my light work, please.
Would you like your pot pie now?
Hurry.
I need that recipe. You know what? I get that recipe. I'm going to make his pot pie.
Oh my God, I would frickin' hurry up.
Okay, it's coming. It might have been faster for you to just do it.
Greattask.com. No, it's okay. So Great Task. They're in Alexandria, Virginia. Paid for by the Great Task, not authorized candidates or policies. About. It's a political action committee sponsored by Liz Cheney that is focused on reverence for the rule of law. And they have a P.O. box. I was going to go down there, but because I live in Virginia, but it's a P.O. box, so I can't. Who is Great Task? There's a Great Task leadership program. Here's another one of Liz.
As Election Day nears, I want to talk to citizens across our great state and all across our country. America cannot remain free if...
Yeah, you lost, Biznatch. I'm not playing your shit again. You're out of here. I have a lot of thoughts about this. I am not a January 6th sympathizer, empathizer. I think everyone who participated in it and went into the Capitol is an idiot. That's it. I'm a person about rule of law. And I'm not talking about the people that walked in. I'm not talking about the people who were invited. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm specifically talking about the people who walked in there with mal and discontent and put shit on the walls and broke fire extinguishers. And, you know, it's trespassing. It's stupid. I don't agree with it. You trespass in my house, I'll tell you what's going to happen to you. What?
You trespass in my house. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
to you. Yeah, I do too.
So it just comes down to this. I don't support what happened on January except for one thing. I support the peaceful protest that took place and the rally that took place that Donald Trump led. And I didn't have a problem with what he said. I really didn't. I've read it over and over. Democrats have used the word fight 1,000 times. They said it to BLM. Maxine Waters said it. They said it just recently. They're saying it right now. This bullshit. I'm not worried about the speech at the rally. I don't believe that incited violence. I think Donald Trump made a very, very grandiose mistake talking about the election the way he did. The things that he said that were unfettered and unproven and unfactual. And I think it was dangerous, and I think it was stupid. And I have said it a million times. And I have been very, very clear that stolen election, I think, is a stupid statement. Because it wasn't stolen. It was right in front of us. We've had this conversation 1,000 times. Those of you who watch me for a long time know what I feel. And the funny thing is I'm the only person that can prove it with fact. I'm the only one that can walk you through the pieces of legislation, the emergency declarative powers that were used, and show you the paper trail of what happened for over 13 months during the DNC primary, during the first initial stages of COVID, and throughout what happened with the U.S. Postal Service, what happened with mail-in ballots, what happened in the key swing states and counties that allowed mail-in ballots, what happened with Pete Buttigieg and Barry Sanders, who were leading the DNC primary out of Michigan and Wisconsin, two of the largest states in the primary. North Carolina and South Carolina were sucking hind tit for Joe Biden. Joe Biden was not doing well in those because the black comments were released from Rhode Island. What he said about, hey, Liv, black people, come on, honey.
Oh,
focus,
sorry,
get in the show, babe.
I was reading a comment.
I don't want the comments read. I want you to make sure when I'm doing dialogue that you got the quotes. You ain't black.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That's one of them. Then you've got Kamala Harris with a diatribe for 3 minutes talking about how he bust people, how he eulogized 4 segregationists and Ku Klux Klan members. I mean, he was toast. And then all of a sudden, man, Kamala Harris gets tapped for VP because she's fucking horrible in California. Didn't even get 1% of the primary vote. And all of a sudden he wins South Carolina. And the difference between South Carolina and the difference between Michigan and Wisconsin in those 2 times, in those 2 primaries, or that one primary in those 2 states, the first time ever that both of those states did a 100% mail-in ballot. Ask the people in Wisconsin and Michigan who are on the call right now. That changed the way that the Democrats focused on the election. They understood that mail-in ballots would get them to a voice that has not voted, but were on their side from the living rooms and the dining rooms that these people were locked down in, and gave them an opportunity to vote without having to register, without having to go ahead and drive into the DMV or to schools, but simply just grab the ballot, fill it out, and send it in because Orange Trump man is bad. We know the numbers that the average vote is anywhere from 92 million to 116 million Americans vote every single time there's an election, and it ranges in between that. We saw amazing turnout for Obama. We saw amazing turnout in 2016, but it didn't encroach upon more than 120 million people. And what we saw was 187 million people vote during COVID. Why? What changed when limiting the amount of travel, limiting the amount of exposure? Fear. It should have suppressed the vote. Why did the vote happen? Well, it's simple. It's not mail-in ballots. It's not fucking Dominion server. It's not George Soros. It's not 2,000 mules, folks. It's simple. Democratic Party got approval through the court system and not the state legislature to send out unsolicited ballots to people because of emergency powers through COVID. And judges approved this 6 months before the election. Donald Trump was talking about this. They were saying that there was no way that these polling places were going to be able to count the amount of votes coming through. The U.S. Postal Service stood on fucking stage in front of the Senate and said, we don't have the manpower. We need a bigger budget. Nancy Pelosi proposed what? $900 million. Donald Trump said, no, I'll fire the Postmaster General. You're not going to do this. You're not going to steal this fucking election with mail-in ballots. He told you all of this. The news media told you 7 days before that these mail-in ballots were going to have a major lift for Donald Trump, almost 20 points ahead in some cases, in all states. And then the mail-in ballots were going to be counted secondary because of the amount that they had. In some of these elections, they asked for 3 weeks of counting after the election, posthumously from the election, because they didn't have the manpower to do so. All of these things were open. It's all there. It's all real. It's all factual. There's no lying here. There's no speculation. There's no videotapes. There's no leaking faucets from the ceiling. There's no Buenos Aires Nazis with George Soros. There's no Nashville bombings in the Pac Bell Center that has the Dominion servers. There's no raids by the CIA into Germany stealing the servers and the evidence. There's no Guantanamo Bay visits by Hillary Clinton and Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi. All the lies you heard. The watermarked ballots. Remember, Donald Trump has watermarked every ballot and he will know which one was stolen. It's all bullshit. It's always been bullshit. But the evidence is right there because it's all attached with HR rulings from the state constitution. This is all proposed legislation that was pushed through by judges, which is unconstitutional. There's two things. You can't change the state constitution under emergency powers because judges interpret the law. They don't write the law. And if you want to change a state's constitution on an election, that breaks the 10th Amendment. State legislatures are responsible for that, but they didn't do that. Judges did by using COVID emergency powers. It allowed them to put out mail-in ballots in densely populated blue cities. This is why you saw some of these counties come back at a 90-10 ratio. I want you to go back and look at Walter Mondale and Ronald Reagan, the most lopsided election in U.S. history, the most lopsided election ever in the history of fucking elections. And none of those counties came back 90-10. The largest amount of disparity that you usually see is anywhere from 10 to 20 points. You might see a 70-30. You might see a 60-40. What you don't see a 90-10 split, even in the most densely populated blue counties. Why? Well, because usually it's a fractured county. It's always a fractured county. And if you did, you would have to get nailed with gerrymandering and redistricting because your zone is all one political party. It's illegal, especially in Pennsylvania, especially in Philadelphia, especially in Arizona and Las Vegas and Georgia and Virginia and everywhere else, and Michigan and Wisconsin. That's number one. And number two is you have unsolicited ballots, people who did not register to vote, people who had no interest in voting, people who were only simply in the registry as having a mailbox. There was no confirmation that these people still live there. There was no confirmation that a new person was living there. There was no confirmation that they were still alive or dead or anything else, and these ballots were sent out. And how do I know this? Because of the sheer amount of people who voted. It lines up with the amount of ballots based upon the census of 2010 because a 2020 census wasn't completed yet. This is why we have more votes than people in the counties. Think, fucking people, this isn't hard. I have been saying this for 2 years. And you know who else is saying it? Mark Levin. But I said it before him. And I will repeat myself over and over and over until somehow somebody hears and says, let's give this guy a national pulpit so we can go ahead and never let it happen again. That emergency powers do not change elections. Voter turnout is suppressed. Yes, that's the way it is. It happens during snowstorms. And we don't fucking hold the election because of it. It happens during hurricanes. Did you even realize and remember that there was a hurricane in Florida? We didn't stop the election. We don't stop elections. You can delay it. You can extend hours, but you don't stop it. Elections go on because ultimately, even if people can't go from a certain district, that's why there's a state representation when it comes to the legislature. That's why there's state representation when it comes to Senate. That's why there's county representation when it comes to other lower positions, whether it be city council, whether it be working in the school board, whether it be working in the counter clerk's and recorder's office or sheriff, whatever it is, you will get votes based upon the sampling of the people who show up. There was no reason to change election law. There was no reason to change these states. And SCOTUS is listening to this as we speak. But when you go ahead and put through 70 some odd cases that talk about Dominion servers and talk about ballot harvesting and you talk about duplicating votes and dead people, it is a mockery. And these district court judges are Supreme Court judges. You understand that? There are 12 districts across the United States, 9 representation of the SCOTUS that are currently in place. They've heard all these cases. They saw the 3,300 affidavits that the Trump team put forward, and they were all struck down. Because the problem is, if you didn't watch these things like I did, and you didn't actually pay attention, you might hear circumspect evidence that seems really convincing until you put the dots together. Because the one thing you see is explanation is left out. And everybody can make the great Gambini make a card look like it's built like a brick. If you've all watched My Cousin Vinny, you know what I'm talking about. That's the point of defense and prosecutors. That's what they're supposed to do. Show you enough evidence to have you solidify and believe what they're saying. But when the truth is looked at from multiple angles and you don't use a filter of Republican versus Democrat, but you use fact versus fiction, truth versus lies, honor versus a lack of it, you will come up with a simple solution. One that you may not like, that the Democrats beat us by using this system against us because there was no precedent for something like this ever. Just like in 2016, just like with Merrick Garland, just like with Kavanaugh, just like with Amy Coney Barrett, that we beat the Democrats at their own game, and we were smug and we were pompous and we walked in and felt that Donald Trump would have a landslide victory because his policies were so good, even though he was a little left of center when it came to his moral compass. And 2020 came around and the Democrats took advantage while we were arguing and pontificating over vaccines and what China did and didn't do and how many people were dying on the CNN sports fucking ticker. And we didn't focus on what they did and we got taken. And if you decide to do it again in 2024, you will miss the other notes. You will miss the other signs and they'll do it again. Because the one thing you can guarantee is that Republicans or Democrats care about 3 things: money, votes, power. And they're all synonymous. And if you ever have to question what is their point, what is their motive, it always falls to those 3 things, no matter which party. And if you don't open up your eyes, you're going to miss it. Stop worrying about rape cases. Stop worrying about what Hunter fucking Biden is doing and focus on the point of contention, which is to ensure that Joe Biden loses in 2024 and we put as many fucking red seats as we can in the House and in the Senate to beat the shit out of the current swamp that is there. There is a very large push in Washington that is happening by Republicans, and they are trying to combat the swamp. There are people who are actually doing good in Washington, whether you believe that or not. Don't just listen to the weekend pundits. Don't just listen to the weekend politicians who all have spots waiting for them on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. Listen to the people like Eli Crane. Listen to the people who are actually doing the drudgery and doing the work and standing up and trying to fight for 3 or 4 simple things for their state versus trying to solve everything ultimately, which leads to their pocketbook. There are people in Washington trying to do the good thing, and most of them do. And there is a very large class of people in this uniparty, and if you do not pay attention, this will happen again. It's pretty simple. I haven't done that in a while with the voting. I'm sorry. I had to get it done. What are people saying? Shut up, Matt, you fucking rhino.
No, well, Melanie had a comment that we're trying to get her to clarify because I'm not sure if what she says, the way it comes off, it sounds...
Is this Melanie Roffrey Marino?
Yes. So
Okay.
her comment was, so Matt, at what point are you going to say enough and try to save this country for your children's future and grandchildren? Because make no mistake, you will blink and we are done. We're all trying.
No, that's not a negative comment. I don't take that as negative.
Just trying to get.
So, Melanie, are you telling me to run for office? Because that would be a complete waste of time. I will not put my family through that. I have too many things in my closet that I'm not proud of. And honestly, I am not a politician.
You're a better strategist, if that's what you say.
I'm a cunning linguist. So I listen, I would be much better on a campaign. I would be much better working a national campaign.
You could be Josh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, from West Wing. Yeah, that I would do the Josh thing. No.
Leo?
No. I would be Dan Silva. The Republican strategist.
The
Yeah.
strategist.
Yeah, he's me. Because I'd walk in, I'd be like, okay, Mr. President, you want the fucking truth? Here it is. So I don't, you can ask every CEO or every business owner I've ever worked in, the one thing that they will tell you about me, and I'm sure there's some negative. You can ask my former employers this, is that I am always honest and I'm always straightforward and I will never lie to you. I will just tell you the truth. And even when you don't want to hear it, I'll just be honest. And unfortunately, it gets me in trouble. I have employees who did not like me because I would just tell them. They would say, how come I didn't get promoted? I'm like, because you suck. You suck at your job. You're not good at this. And it's okay because what you're currently doing is good enough to get by because I've got people who suck worse than you, but I'm going to get rid of those people too, but you're not promotable. You don't have any skills. Your interpersonal communication sucks. Your motivation is not there. You don't have any drive for results. Your managerial courage is zero. Your build team relationships is not there. Your peers don't like you. Customers don't like you. And you've been late 17 times out of the last 106 days. You're not good at your job. And then HR would get called. And then HR would say, did you say this? I said, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Do you think you could have said it better? I couldn't have said it more honestly. I'll tell you that much. And isn't that really the point? But see, here's the thing is I don't just say that to somebody and leave. I ask a simple question. Now that I've told you what your shortcomings are, do you want to know how to fix them? Would you like help to get better, or do you continue or want to just await the day that you no longer have a job? And when the answer was, I want to do it. Okay, great. Then this is an 80-20 relationship. I'm going to give you 80% of the solution, and all you got to do is sit there and listen 20%. But the moment that we're done with this conversation, it then flips. My contribution to your development is 20%, and the rest is 80% on you. Can you handle that? Yes, great. Then I'm going to schedule for the next 6 months meetings every single week for 1 hour. Your job is to come prepared with an action plan, what you've learned from the previous week, go through Myers-Briggs, go through Lawmaker competencies, use these examples, provide feedback from 3 different customers, 3 different employees on how you're doing, blah, 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 and present this to me every single week and how you're doing. And we will sit down and we'll work the wall together. We'll do it together, shoulder to shoulder, and we'll take it on. And I will tell you, 99% of the time, those people didn't show up to the meeting or weren't prepared or didn't take it seriously and they got fired. And then there was a 1% to 2% window where people excelled and became better than I and they got promoted. Success is not an accident, ever. If you actually apply yourself, you can be successful by accident. Success should always be by design, always. Otherwise, you didn't earn it. You fell into it. So when I look at this and you say, well, Matt, why aren't you a politician? Is because I will not solve people's problems because I don't think government should solve people's problems. I think government shouldn't create problems and allow people in the free market to solve itself. And that's not a very particular brand of vodka that anyone likes because it takes hard work and discipline, and nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear how government's going to solve their problems. Well, that's not what the government does, I'm sorry to say. That's it.
So Vicky had a question.
Hey, Vicky.
Said, Matt, I know that you're on a difficult topic, but I was wondering your view on Pakistan civil unrest and them blaming the U.S. for interfering in their elections.
Pakistan is, well, first of all, Pakistan is a bunch of crazy fucking, that is an unstable and a very volatile country. So is India. And India and Pakistan have been raging war against each other. It is the hotbed in the political climate that I would watch. They were 25 years ago setting off nukes in the middle of the Indian Ocean, for God's sakes. They were playing Fat Man with New Mexico and setting off nukes like it was the 4th of fucking July. Pakistan and India are predominantly hateful of each other. The relationship between the two has always been contentious, and they have no problem with creating mass casualties on both sides. We have tried to influence Pakistan's politics. We have tried to influence, I'm sure, their elections in one way or another. We're guilty of it, just like everybody. I think the region will remain to be unstable, especially with Chinese influence and their expansion and wanting to expand into the Indian Ocean, to have their own man-made Diego Garcia for strategic leverage in the southern parts of the Middle East and the western parts of Africa, eastern parts of Africa. I think it's a hotbed to watch. That's it. But I will tell you this, the neighbors of Pakistan and India don't tolerate that shit either. So it's probably not going to be the U.S. You're going to see a ton of influence from England. You're going to see a ton of influence from China. You will see influence from Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries. And now you have Afghanistan, which is running Heinz tit right by Pakistan and India, which has the largest freestanding, 7th largest freestanding military in the world, thanks to Joe Biden. So good luck. I mean, all you got to do is roll 20, 21, 22 years back where India and Pakistan was, Afghanistan. It's all back to the same spot. And it's not having military presence of the United States in those areas. It eliminates your ability to saber rattle. It limits your ability to police the area. And when the parents are away, the kids will play. And that's what you have in India and Pakistan.
She said thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, the United States getting involved in, I'm not going to speak on current things that are happening in Pakistan or arrests or political espionage. You have to trust the United States to do one thing, which is always work in the best interest of the United States. Maybe not the people, but always the best interest of the United States. And having India and Pakistan launch off nukes like Roman candles again, or having them lob artillery back and forth, or start bombing each other's cities is not a good thing. I'm reading people's comments. Anything else?
No, not on that, no.
All right, cool. Last thing. We're going to talk about one more thing and then we're going to bail. Because I still think we're getting throttled back and forth with this internet tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
there's
think
no
it's
one
me.
on YouTube anymore at the moment.
I don't think it's me.
Yeah, I think something's going on because it came back again. But yeah, YouTube, there's no one on.
I had a feeling. Watch this, folks. This is interesting. Enjoy.
This is CNN Breaking News.
And we're back with breaking news, different breaking news. A CNN exclusive. Republican Congressman George Santos of New York is now facing criminal charges. Sources telling CNN's Evan Perez that federal prosecutors have filed charges against the New York freshman and serial liar. He's expected to appear in court as soon as tomorrow. Let's bring in Evan Perez, who's breaking the story for us. Evan, tell us more. What do we know about the charges specifically?
Well, Jake, right now, we do not know the exact nature of these charges. We know that these have been filed under seal with the federal court in the Eastern District of New York. That's, of course, the court that has jurisdiction over Representative Santos's district, which is in Queens and Long Island. We know that at this point, he's expected to appear in federal court to answer these charges in ISLIP tomorrow. That's as soon as tomorrow in Eastern District of New York. Now, again, we don't know the charges. We know that the Justice Department, Public Integrity prosecutors, the FBI, of course, prosecutors there in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn have been investigating the congressman for a number of allegations, including charges or claims, rather, that he falsified some of his campaign finance filings. And so those are among the things that we expect prosecutors may be able to shed some more light on when we see these charges finally announced tomorrow. Now, this is a congressman, obviously, Jake, that you've talked about many, many times on this program. He took office just in January, and in just a few months, of course, it's come to light a number, just a stunning number of falsehoods and lies that he's told as part of his campaign, in the lead up to his campaign, and in the years prior. I'll just recite just a few of them, including his claim on his resume that he worked at Goldman Sachs and Citibank. He said that he was a star volleyball player for Baruch College, where he said he got a degree. None of those things were true. He claimed, obviously, that also that he had Jewish heritage, something, again, that has been shown to be false. And, you know, the congressman has repeatedly said that he is not a criminal, that he's not been charged.
So, for once, I'm gonna refrain from commenting, and I would like to get perspective from the people listening, Olivia, everybody else. George Santos. I would love to hear what people think. So let's get some comments in here, and let's hear your initial reaction, and we'll leave on this note because
someone call in.
Yeah, or call in. Hit the number 804-504-1955. Join the show. You can call in and end the call tonight. What are your thoughts on George Santos? You guys know my thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know my thought on some of the ultra right side politicians in Washington. What are your thoughts on George Santos? You know how I have called out several people when it comes. Majewski from Ohio, who ran on stolen valor and said, I didn't get to shower when I was in the field. When I was in the bush, I fought 1,000 Viet Cong with a toothpick. Guy's a fucking cargo operator. He loaded planes, for God's sakes. And he makes it sound like he's, I don't know, Rambo. More like Ram Butt. I don't care for George anyway, but a serial liar. Facts matter, Vicky says. I believe most politicians to be frauds, and I'd take Santos over Fetterman any day. I'd like to know what he's being charged with. Mike Blankman, I did not get that either. All right, so that's pretty tame so far. Is that it?
Someone wanted to know how did he break the law?
Right. How did he break the law?
What did he do?
Kat says George is as relevant as Lizzie. Yeah. Yeah, that's Kat. That's a good point. I don't like the turd. I think he's a turd. That's when I call you a turd, it's basically because you have no credibility. That's all. And it's not like I think he's great. I think he's not. I think he's a turd. He's a wet turd. That's all. He's just weasel. And it's like he's Ted Cruz without the smarts. and I like Ted Cruz. But Ted Cruz has some redeeming qualities, and he has some qualities I don't really like. I think Ted Cruz flip-flops immensely. And I think he goes with the wind. I just think George Santos is a turd. I think he's a weasel. I think he can't rub an idea two neurons together like two sticks. He doesn't impress me. I think he is an instigator. I think he does have a grandiose attitude that usually results in being dishonest about his abilities. And I don't like people who are braggadocious. He's the type of guy that comes out of the Navy and says he was a SEAL. And you're like, really? What class were you? It's classified. What? It's classified. I can't tell you what class. You can't tell me what Bud's class you were in? Oh. Well, were you West Coast or East Coast? I can't tell you that. Why? Because it's classified. Why is it fucking classified? I got a TSI, and I'm pretty sure I can find out where you were on TDY or where your orders were. Why can't you tell me your orders? It's not like I'm asking you to tell me what you did during maritime ops or something. Go tell me about, you go ahead and getting the Ayatollah out or something. How about, can you name 3 guys on your team? Name 3 people on your team. Fine. What number team were you on? I can't tell you that. Why? Let me guess. SEAL Team 6? Is that what it was? DevGru? You're in DevGru? And I'm not saying this guy's stealing valor. I'm just saying he very much reminds me of Blumenthal or Schiff. He just has a different letter in front of his name. I just don't like people like that. Why do you got to say you're not a star volleyball player? Are you fucking kidding me? You look like an accordion player in band. He looks like he's in the high school marching band still today. I'm just not a fan. And I'm not trying to hurt his feelings, and I'm not trying to pick on him because of his looks. I just think he's a giant dork. And you are. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Please tell me a piece of legislation that George Santos put forward that you are proud of. Please tell me. Yeah, okay, fine. Joe Biden's son. But we're not talking about Joe Biden's son, Cheryl. We're talking about George Santos. Unless Joe Biden, went to a 7-Eleven and got down with somebody in Delaware and because he's a slave state. Did we have that? And he had sex with somebody, and George Santos is his offspring. I don't know. Maybe it's his 8th grandchild. Is George Santos
better than anybody else? And you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a Northeast liberal state.
That's exactly what it is. It's liberal, and it's in the Northeast. That would make it a Northeast liberal state. And it's quite elitist, even though it's poor. But the areas that are actually prominent inside Delaware make up 80% of the economy of that state. It's a shithole. Sorry. No offense to anyone from Delaware. And I know I've got a couple Delaware listeners. But here's the thing. It's okay to say that about George Santos because he could propose legislation tomorrow that blows me away and I have to apologize. But right now, what's he known for? He's known for essentially echoing Trump, sitting behind MTG and Probert and lapping up their scraps. That's what he's known for. So when CNN says this, CNN is completely ridiculous. CNN has absolutely no idea what the hell they're talking about. And they're just bashing on this guy so they can get a seat. And they hope that this guy essentially loses seat and that, you know, they can have a runoff. And they can go ahead and backfill it with somebody else in 2024 or whenever he's up for re-election, which I think would be 2024 because it's a 2-year position. But as Republicans, you want to call it the swamp. Call it the people who are there doing nothing. Call him out for his inactivity and his inability to get on the national stage and make an argument against Democrats. Don't just suck up time because you're an easy target for the left. This is what I'm talking about. This guy, you may want Fetterman over him, or you may want him over Fetterman, but that doesn't make him a good politician. What does that say about him? I'd rather have a piece of shit than a bowl of rat turds. Well, that's not a choice, folks. We've got to get people like this out. If he's not going to pony up and get to work, then get him out. Eli Crane has done 10 times more than Santos. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's just make a little comparison here, and then we'll get out of here.
And they're both freshmen, right?
Yeah, I think Santos had a re-election. All right. Here we go. It's on C-SPAN. I'll put this up here. Boom! C-SPAN's like my ESPN. I love this channel. And of course, we get a commercial. No, there wasn't a time. Shut up. I'm not going to pay for your crap here. In fact, I'm not going to run your ad. No, I'm not going to run your ad. Propecia. Ask your doctor if running in a sea of wheat and swimming with dolphins is good for you. See me. I've got plaque psoriasis.
His past and resume announced on Monday. Congressman George Santos of New York also talked about the protests in Iran for his first floor speech in Congress. The Republican lawmaker, who is facing allegations of fabricating his past and resume, urged the Biden administration to do more to support the protesters.
Madam Speaker, I request unanimous consent to address the House floor for 1 minute and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Immediately, my son has more confidence in this guy. Immediately. Like, my son would own that stage. Like, just no confidence at all. And by the way, sweater vest with a suit, pinstripes, shows off man boobs. I'm just saying, bro. I mean, a nice little pastel button-up would be much better than this. Just saying. Just saying. It's not personal.
Madam Speaker, today I rise in support of the brave Iranian protesters who are fighting against barbaric forces of immorality. During his 1967 inaugural address as governor of California, Ronald Reagan said that freedom is a fragile thing, and it is never more than one generation away from extinction.
Melanie, I will not hush about plaque psoriasis because it has nothing to do with you, my comment.
I think she was joking. There's a really big laughy smiley face.
Okay, because I'm just letting you know, it's a Fox commercial I see every frickin' day, and I'm like, and I don't know what it is because I don't know if it's teeth, I don't know if it's a foot issue, I don't know if it's head lice. I mean, because they don't ever tell us. It's just like, see me, See me. I'm like, what Cyndi Lauper, why don't you give me some information on what plaque psoriasis is and maybe I'll empathize with you. I'm sorry you have it. I'm sorry it's painful. That was not directed at you. That was directed at stupid Fox commercials. Here it is.
And protesters have based this revolution on 3 principles: women, life, and freedom, all of which America has rightfully championed. With a considerable population of Iranian Americans in New York's 3rd Congressional District, let America serve as a democratic beacon of light for the Iranian men and women who are fighting abroad.
Oh, I can't finish it. Listen, you wrote a speech. You've got 1 minute. If you can't speak off the cuff, you've got no reason being on that stage. Get off that dais, sit down, shut up, resign your position immediately. You are horrible. Useless as tits on a board. If you can't speak publicly, you have no business. How the fuck did this guy get elected? All right, so let's watch this
How
guy.
did Fetterman get elected?
Because he likes the toy train, Livia. He likes Mama said. Mama said that I get elected. Oh, look, a squirrel.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get. Ever.
With Photo Vibrance, you can transform any photo into a mesmerizing moving image.
Photo
in just a
Vibrance,
few
folks.
clicks.
Not that I'm endorsing
Simply-
it. I don't know anything about it.
The gentleman from Texas is now recognized.
Texas. Arizona, Mr.
Arizona. My apologies.
Come on.
Get him, Eli. Fucking Texas. Only steers and something else come from Texas.
Mr. Crane, I will do push-ups for you.
Push him out, sir.
We'll give you 7 seconds back.
All right. Thank you, Secretary Mayorkas, for appearing before our committee. I know it's been a tough day for you, and I think that's for good reason. I want to start my comments with looking at the causation of this crisis at our southern border. You know, it wasn't more than a couple years ago during the Democratic primary that your boss, now President Biden, said during a debate, we're a nation that says, you want to flee, you're fleeing oppression, you should come. Everybody with a brain saw this coming, sir. We all saw this coming. We saw this president, during his race, roll out the red carpet. We knew what it was going to cause. Everybody shouted it from the rooftops, and now it's here.
Folks, my whole family suffers from shingles. I know what plaque psoriasis is. I'm having a conversation with myself, trying to make him humor. Thank you very much now. Now I've got to call Cyndi Lauper and apologize and be like, yeah, I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let it show. I see your true...
What they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
It's so true. See, now that is how you add a soundboard to a great spot. Good job.
You all want to act like it's something else. You all want to act like you didn't invite this, and you most certainly did. Sir, you said in your opening statements that you're attacking cartels and smugglers in an unequivocal way. You most certainly are not, sir. As a matter of fact, if they were in this room right now, the heads of these cartels, you know what they'd tell us? They'd say, hey, re-elect these guys again. And by all means, keep that guy right in his seat because he's our MVP. He's making it so easy for us to smuggle drugs, smuggle people, get gangs into this country, distract our Border Patrol agents, and at the same time, destroy the U.S. economy. So you're not doing a good job, sir, and that is why right here.
Opened it up, and he abstained, and he walked the fuck out. No news media, nothing, just left. See ya. I won that one. I'll get you on the next one. This guy he's been just freaking trading barbs ever since. Just knocking pins down, getting his job done. He's one of the fighters. He's one of the people who I told you is going to fight. He's going to go in there and he's going to make change. He'll take money. He'll take money because he has to. He's got to get reelected. He'll take his money, but he's not going to go he's already independently wealthy. He sold a successful company in Bottle Breacher. He's doing just fine. He doesn't need anybody's money. He'll trade on his merit. He won't trade on his name. That's what we need. So when you hear George Santos getting blasted by CNN, your first reaction shouldn't be to save him or stand up for him. You should judge him on his merit. And that guy hasn't done shit. All right, that's it. All right, folks, listen, thanks for watching the Donut and Fremmy Show. You can stop by. My beautiful wife, Olivia Spear, has been sitting here just fantastically. We're going to get her a new camera. The phone looks good, but we need to get you a new camera.
We need to make allergies stop making my eyes go crazy.
Did you just say we need to make out?
Sure.
Sure.
I would love to do that.
That's outstanding.
What I said was we need to make allergies go away so I don't feel like I've got sandpaper in my eyes. Because it's not fun.
I can just punch you in the face and then
That'll
you won't have
work.
anything to complain.
Yeah, I can't wear my glasses on the show because headphones.
Well, can't you put them up above the headphones?
Oh, no. We've tried that.
You can't like do
no,
this?
it doesn't work because I can't see anything.
You can't do that?
Freaking blind. I can't see.
I've told you to let me get you some in-ear studio headphones. These things are amazing. I don't even feel them in. You have to trust me that they feel comfortable. I wear them all the time. It's like my penis ring. I don't feel it.
I've got dainty little baby ears. Nothing fits. They're so little. I've never been able to wear in-ear headphones.
Did you notice how she didn't say anything about my penis ring? So you have dainty. So they make these things. Look at these things. Look at that little. Come on, there's nothing there. You just got to get the right size plug, and it comes with like 40 different plugs. I'm telling you, Livy, get rid of those giant things. You look like fucking a homosexual Dr. Dre. Minus not being black and a man, but it's just you look like, you know what you look like? You look like a Informer. I like it, boom boom down. You look like MC Snow.
Oh, that's who that
Yeah,
was.
he would wear that. He'd wear that giant poof.
Everyone likes my headphones.
But you complain about how uncomfortable they are. So it's either
I said with glasses on because it hurts my head. I never said they were uncomfortable. I said the in-ear earbuds.
I like your headphones. I think they look fine.
That's right.
We just need to get a new camera for you because I want you to look as good as me. Which,
well, that's not hard.
well, it's pretty hard. Why do you always got to make fun of me? Why you always got to just like break me down? It's so. I know I give as good as I can.
Because it's so much fun to build you back up.
Whatever. I think the breakdown part is what you enjoy. She looks beautiful. We love her headphones. Oh, please fuck off, Christine. She looks cute, Matt. Here comes the defense of Olivia. I must defend thy maiden's honor. Because the boisterous male is attacking her. See, that sounds like Thor. I've got a pretty good Liam Neeson in Thor. He goes,
Liam Neeson?
What's his name?
Chris
Hemsworth. Whatever.
Whatever. Are you talking about the dad? Or are you talking?
I'm talking about Thor.
Chris Hemsworth? No, you did not sound like Chris Hemsworth.
When he does the Thor, the damn right I did. We're gonna go back and listen to it.
Wait. What part did you just do?
We're gonna just play it.
I gotta find it. So I gotta figure out which
Hurry
movie.
up.
What movie is from?
I don't know. I can't do it now because I feel like I'm on the spot. But it was pretty good. It was very Hemsworthy. I almost said Liam Neeson because Liam Neeson I can do.
Yeah, Taken.
Yeah, you do Taken. I can't do it. I'm gonna fuck it up because I'm smiling.
You'll be fine. All right, let's see if I can find.
Find the Hemsworth thing.
I'm looking. Now I can't even get on freaking YouTube. Okay.
They're fine, man. Oh my, you guys are so pathetic. She can handle herself. She's fine. Of course she looks good. She's beautiful. Of course she is. Please, folks, it's all for the entertainment. She looks like Princess Leia. That's what she looks like. You're right. Princess Leia. Did you find it yet?
I'm looking. You know I'm horrible at this shit.
You are.
You're
horrible.
probably better to find it by yourself.
Like do it from there by telekinesis. All right, folks, listen, we appreciate you being on the Donut and Fremmy Show. Thanks for watching us tonight. We will be back tomorrow. We are going to do the Trump Town Hall. What time is that Trump Town Hall, Liv? You're not going to find the Liam Hemsworth or whatever the hell his name is.
I'd have to look.
Donald Trump Town Hall. Let's find the time. Yes. Olivia.
Yes,
Olivia's hot.
yes.
Olivia's hot. You're
What'd they say about me?
jealous of us now, Matt? No, I'm not jealous of you. What? What's his name? Donald Trump. You may have heard of him. He was the president for a little bit of time.
8 Eastern.
8 Eastern. We'll have it on. We'll probably be on 7:55. Did you get my videos, Matt? I did get the videos. I will take a look at those. I already looked at one, and I want to look at the rest. I've been getting a lot of stuff from viewers lately. Carl says those Barbie headphones are a bit much.
Carl? Barbie headphones?
Do you have anything to say to Carl before we go?
Well, I've never seen a picture of Carl, so I like my pink headphones. Pink's my favorite color.
Pink is my favorite color. All right, we're leaving. We're just killing time now. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Stop by the Don't Unfriend Me Show at thedumbshow.com. Pick yourself up a hat, awake but not woke. You can pick up a Joe Biden outfit and dress all merry like the merry men. You can get a Dumb Nation mug. You can get coffee. It's all fun over there. Go get 10% off by using code DUM10. That is DUM10. Wait a second. Michelle says, driver looked just like Matt today. Red beard, too, and tats. I don't have a red beard.
No red beard.
What? What? I don't have a red beard. I'm not a frickin' ginger. How is that ginger? There's no red in that beard. It's dark brown and gray. Look how gray I am. I need to use my Just for Men, number 35. Liv, look how gray I'm getting. This is pathetic.
I think you're sexy.
I am not a ginger. What the hell?
I like the salt and pepper.
Screw this. I'm leaving. Somebody just called me a ginger. I can't take this abuse anymore. I'm sick of this. You know what? The show's done. That's it. We're done. We're pulling the plug.
It looks red on the phone. I mean, if it's small and some of the lights I can see.
All right. Well, let's talk Astros. Astros aren't going to win for a while, man. You got to get Altuve back in the lineup.
Under 500 for the first.
It doesn't matter. That's bullshit. Dude, it's freaking the first month of baseball. Everyone just relax. Bregman doesn't hit until July, number one. Michael Brantley is going to have to get back in the swing of things, and he'll start hitting. Okay, Abreu isn't going to continue to not be able to hit dingers. It will happen, more than likely with a little bit more humidity, because where did he come from, folks? And what's the humidity level at the beginning of the year? Think about it. The ball is going to get heavier. It's going to get wetter, and it will carry. Relax. It's not going to happen until July. That's why Bregman does well with a heavier ball. Second, you've also got to look at Altuve. He's batting now. He's going to go do his rehab assignment. He'll be back in an immediate push in the lineup. That limits the amount of people that you have in the middle of the lineup who are not connecting right now. They will probably go ahead and take out Maldonado and get rid of his contract. They will find a good pickup. Pitchers, unfortunately, we do have a lot of depth. We're going to be fine there. Yes, we probably go pick up a starter and maybe a middle relieving pitcher, but overall the bullpen will figure it out. It's a little bit different with speeding up pitching. Pitchers are having slower recovery time. They will figure that out too. Our bullpen's getting lit up. Everyone relax. What do you think? The fucking Angels are going to win? The Mariners? The Rangers? Come on, folks. Let's wake up. The Astros will be where they need to be come playoff time, and they will crush as always. Everyone relax on the Astros. There is, at least they didn't lose their best player for probably the rest of his career. Okay. Yeah. When you have Alvarez, when you have Bregman, when you have Altuve, you have Michael Brantley, you have Abreu, you have what's our kid? Who's our shortstop? Pena. You've got fucking Chas McCormick. You have an amazing lineup. Nobody's gonna be able to pitch around that team. Nobody.
They just gotta get hit. And Alvarez, I mean.
Oh my God, I forgot Yordan Alvarez. And you know, you might need to get a couple lefties, but you might.
Tucker. You forgot Tucker.
Oh yeah, fucking King Tuck. I mean, dude, that team is so dangerous. They're not. Don't even worry about the Astros, please. Everyone relax. I know my shit. Go Giants. Who? Do they even have a team? The Giants. The New York Giants? Oh, yeah. Go football. I don't know who you're talking about. The Giants. Don't tell me the Padres, too. Did Tatis pass the piss test yet? Is he going to be okay? I don't want to apologize for playing the game, but I want to play it my way. I go hit the ball now. Fuck that guy. Fucking can't stand that dilapidated douchebag. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, don't get me talking sports, because I will tell you I am a handful with sports. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
No, Kristen Pena was not in the Mariners. He was a rookie. He got drafted by the Stros, and he was a rookie last year.
Dude, don't.
And he won MVP of the. He wasn't Rookie of the Year.
Yes, World Series MVP.
He was World Series MVP. I don't think he got Rookie of the Year though.
And I don't think he got a Gold Glove. No, he got a Gold Glove.
Yeah, but
not in shortstop. He was going up against like 12 other guys. I don't think he got shortstop. He didn't. And did he get rookie of the year?
No, I don't think. I'd have to look it up. I don't think he did though.
No, I don't think he got rookie of the year. I think that guy had a. But it doesn't matter. The point is, the Stros are going to be fine. Okay, we're leaving.
I like sports, man.
Yeah, I love sports. If I could do sports over this shit show, I would. I'm just kidding, folks. We love you.
You know, maybe we should have an alternate night where we do sports.
Nobody will watch.
I know.
Nobody will watch. Nobody wants to hear us talk about sports. Trust me, I want to, but nobody cares. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show with Olivia and I. We love you. We appreciate you. Go like, share, follow, and subscribe if you could. If you haven't been over to Twitter, go follow it. Please, let's get that number up and make sure everyone knows. Don't worry about the Astros. They're going to be fine. Colorado Avalanche, on the other hand.
Little worried.
We'll be all right. Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call